Welcome to Computer Applications in Accounting. In this video, I'm going to provide you with a basic overview to the spreadsheet package. So what we are going to use in this course, that is Microsoft Excel. So here in this video, I'll be providing a basic overview to this Microsoft Excel application software. So let's see uh, how to operate this software. So let me start that even from how to open this Microsoft Excel. So in fact, when it comes to opening this software, so there can be different ways. There can be different ways to do that. So out of these different methods, what am I going to discuss? So you can stick to a particular method that you are convenient the most. So whatever the approach that you would follow, so it's going to be applicable. So let me come to the first way of opening this software. So the first method, so here you can see that, so here the search area is appearing in the which is near to the start button. So in your computers most of the time you would see that, so there's a area to search. So if you go to this area and if you simply left click on that, then you can type call Excel. You can type Excel, and if you press enter having typed this Excel, so it will open up your software. So that is the first method that you can use to open up this software. So just to show you again, so if you go to this Excel, so if you go to the Excel, sorry, if you go to this search area and you can type Excel, just type it and press enter. So once you do that, so your software gets started. So that is one of the easiest way to open up this software. Or otherwise, the other option that you get is you can go to the destination folder. You can go to the destination folder. You can select your preferred area of having the documents. So you can go to that, and then you can create a folder for your subject. So it is 1301. So let me create a folder. So I went to the my computer, then the new volume or the E drive. So just to show you again, I go to the my computer, then the new volume, and there I have create a folder. So you know how to create a folder for sure. Just delete and I recreate that. You can go to, you can right click, so keeping your mouse in a area where you have the space, then you can go to new and then create folder. So rename it 1301. Now you can open up this folder, and let's say that all the workings that you do under this course, if you want to keep this in this particular folder, so what you can do, you can create the files there itself. So how do you do that? So you can simply right click on the area where the space is available, then you can go to this new, right? So in this dialog box you can go to the new. So there you can see somewhere below the Microsoft Excel worksheet is there. So you can simply left click on that. So with that, the particular Excel workbook has come. So here most importantly, you know, for each and every workbook, you are going to give a particular name. So therefore you can here give the name and you can start working. So let me say it is test. Since this is the first one, let me say it is test. And you can click outside. So once you click outside, so then you can see the Microsoft uh, Excel workbook is there. So if you want to open it, you can simply double click. Sorry, you can simply double click on that, left double click. You can see that it gets opened, right? So if you want to close it, yes, you can close them, right? So again, if you want to, in a later point in time, if you want to again go and open it, what you can do, you can go to the My Computer. So in my case, it is E drive. There I have created a folder 1301, and there I have my file. So if you want to open it, go and double click. So with that, you can see that the test file gets open, right? So that is how you can basically open up your software. So that's how we basically open up your software, right? If it is available, the particular software package is available in your computer, you can open accordingly. තර පුතාලට මම පෙන්වනවා දැන් ක්‍රම දෙකක් පුතාලගේ Excel software එක open කරන්න. එකක් අපිට පුළුවන් ගිහිල්ලා මේ start button එකට මෙහා පැත්තෙන් අපිට තියෙනවා search area එකක්. එතකොට මේ search area එකේ ගිහිල්ලා Excel කියලා type කරොත් එතකොට පුතාලට වෙනවා මෙතනත් ඒ app එක appear වෙනවා. මෙතන double click කරත් ඒක open වෙනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් පුතාලා මෙතන simply Excel කියලා type කරලා enter press කරොත් නිකම්ම මේක open වෙනවා. මෙන්න අපේ Excel software එක open වෙනවා. එතකොට පුතාලට පුළුවන් එතනින් අවශ්‍ය නම් මේක destination folder එක save කරගන්න. එතකොට මෙතන software එක open වුණාට පස්සේ you can go to the file, you can go to save as, you can go to browse. You need to look for a location, you can browse it, then you can show what is your destination. So the destination, so in my case, let me take the new volume E1301. Let me name it as test 2. Let me take it as text 2. So if I take text 2, then you can save it, right? So that is one way to open up the software. You can go පුතාල පුළුවන් මේ search area එකට ගියා, Excel කියලා type කරා, ඒක open කරගත්තා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒ software එක just type it Excel and press enter and open වෙනවා software එක. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට පේනවා දෙකක්ම open වුණා. එකක් අයින් කරමු. එතකොට මේ book එක දැන් පුළුවන් පුතාලට save කරගන්න දැනගන්න. ඒකට මම පෙන්නනවා කොහොමද save කරන්නේ. file කියන option එකට ගියා, save as ගියා, browse option එක ගත්තා. ඒකලා අදාළ ස්ථානයක් පෙන්වනවා. කොතන save කරන්න ඕන කියලා පෙන්වනවා. drive එකට ගියා. එතෙන්ට ගියා, මෙතනින් අපි පෙන්වනවා නමක් දුන්නා, මෙතනින් test3 save කරා. එතකොට ඔන්න පුතාලගේ file එක එතන save වුණා. workbook එක කියලා අපි කියන්නේ Excel workbook එක එතන save වුණා. right? එහෙම නැත්නම් තව දෙයක් තමයි අපිට පුළුවන් අපි මේ files තියාගන්න තැනට යන්න පුළුවන්. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් my computer එකට ගිහිල්ලා දැන් මම E කියන drive එකේ තමයි save කරන්නේ මගේ දේවල්. එතකොට මට පුළුවන් එතන folder එකක් create කරලා ඒ folder එක ඇතුළට ගිහිල්ලා අවශ්‍ය නම් right click කරලා new කියන option එකට ගිහිල්ලා එතනින් මට පුළුවන් මේ Microsoft Excel worksheet එක ගන්න. එතකොට ඒකත් තව එක විදියක්. එතකොට මේ ක්‍රම දෙකෙන් පුතාලා කැමති විදිහකට මේ files ගන්න පුළුවන්. right? That's how we open up the software. හරි. අපි එතකොට එකක් open කරගමු. මම test කියන එක double click කරා open කරගන්න. So once you open this software, once you open up this software, you can see that here you can see, I told you this is a workbook. So if you take a book, if you take a typical book, you know there would be several sheets. So there must be several sheets in that book, or we call the pages. So similarly, if you take this Excel workbook, here also you can have several sheets. So typically you can see one sheet is there. So if you want to add more sheets, what you need to do, you need to click on this add button. So click on that, see the sheet 2 is added. If you want to add another, so click another, sheet 3. So likewise, you can add any number of sheets that you want. Any number of sheets that you want, you can add. So that is how the Excel workbook works. So we call it, these are Excel worksheet. The worksheet 1, worksheet 2, worksheet 3, worksheet 4 likewise. Right? So here, this is how you can add the worksheets. So if you click on this add, simply it gets added. And thereafter, if you feel that you want to give a particular name for this, right? So if you want to rename this sheet, that is also possible. So how do you rename? You can go to a sheet and you can right click on that. So once you right click on that, you can see that different options are coming. If you want to give a name for this, take the rename option and then type whatever the name that you want. Say it is question 1. And once you type that, remember, most importantly, you need to press enter. So once you press enter, that particular name saves. So now the sheet 1, we have renamed it question 1. So likewise, you can rename the rest. It's question 2. It's question 3. Likewise, right? Question 2. But මේ විදිහට පුතාලට මේක rename කරගන්න පුළුවන් අවශ්‍ය විදිහට. Now let's say that at the moment the 3 worksheets are good enough. So you have taken something in excess. So if you feel that you want to delete them, so if you want to eliminate them, can you do that? Yes, you can easily do that. If you find a particular worksheet is not required, you can simply right click on that and you can see that there is option called delete. So you can delete them. So as required, you can delete them, right? Even if you want, let's say that you want to move these sheets here and there, අපිට පුතාලට මේ sheets එහෙට මෙහෙට move කරන්න ඕන කියලා එහෙම කරන්න පුළුවන්. Yes, you can simply drag them and drop, right? Let's say that you want to take 3 next, you can drag and drop it. You can click it, so press the left hand, so the left side of your mouse and simply drag it and drop it. So that is a way to move them if you find it necessary. But if you find it is difficult, you can simply right click it and you can say move. තර මෙහෙම left side of the mouse එක click කරගෙන ඒක drag කරන එක අමාරු වෙනවා. අපිට ඒක බොහොම පහසුවෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන් විදියක් තියෙනවා. So what you need to do, you need to right click on that and you can take the option move. So once you take the option move, then it asks where you want to take it. You want to take it before sheet 1 or before sheet 2, before sheet 3 or to the end. Let's say that you want to move that to the end and click that and say okay. See, now it is easily moved. So likewise, even if you wish to take these sheets here and there, that is also possible. That's also possible, right? So not only that, even if you feel that you want to add some color to this sheet, yes, you can do that. You can right click on that, go to the tab color and you can add some color to that. So you have added that and let's take another, let's add another color. So likewise you can keep on adding these colors. පුතාලට කැමති නම් මේ විදිහට මේවට පාට එකතු කරගන්නත් පුළුවන්, right? Now it's look so beautiful. Now it's look so beautiful. අපිට පේනවා දැන් මේක ලස්සනයි නේ. So likewise you can explore these options. So I have taken you some of the important options. You can even try the rest. Even you can see that if you want to hide a particular sheet, you can hide it. Now you can see the sheet 3 is not appearing. So if you want to unhide that, yes, you can do that. You can click on any of the sheets, then take the unhide option, then it asks which sheet you want to unhide. So at the moment we have hide question 3 sheet, so you can unhide it, right? Likewise, these are some of the basic aspects that you can try out, right? Okay, then let me come to this main area of the sheet. So let's go to the question 1 worksheet. In that, I'm coming to the main area, right? Here you can see that this is your worksheet. You can do anything in this area, right? එතකොට පුතාලා කියනවා මේක තමයි පුතාලාගේ worksheet එක. එතකොට ඔයාලට කැමති ඕනෑම දෙයක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. But mainly we are using this as a spreadsheet package, so therefore the mathematics related application is what we perform in this Excel software. So if you want to perform the word processing, so you have the Microsoft Word. So if you want to do a presentation, you have a Microsoft presentation, Microsoft PowerPoint, right? If you want to do database, you have Microsoft Access. So if you want to do some calculations, so the calculative functions, yes, you have the Microsoft Excel, right? So when you come to this area, you can see that this is your worksheet. So if you go to a particular box, what you can see over here, we call this box a technical term, we call it a cell, right? Remember, hereafter we are not going to say it's a box, but what is the term what we should use? This is a what we call cell. So when you take a particular cell, you can see that it is having a particular name. What is that name? The cell is having a name. Each cell is having a name. So if you want to know that, you can go to this name box. This is what we call the name box. In this name box, you can see that the name of this cell is appearing. පුතාලා දන්නවා මේ සෑම සෙල් එකකටම නමක් තියෙනවා. එතකොට ඒ සෑම සෙල් එකකටම තියෙන නම තමයි අපි මේ name box එකේ අපිට පේන්න තියෙන්නේ. Right? If you go to this, you can see the name appears as C2, right? Name appears as C2. එතකොට මොකක්ද මේ C2 කියන්නේ? You can see that here when you take a particular sheet, particular kind of a cell, so it belongs to a particular column. You can see that there are different columns: column A, column B, column C, and column D. And if you take in this direction, in this vertical direction, sorry, horizontal direction, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise, the number of rows are there. So here we have the rows, here we have the columns. The columns are named as A, B, C, D, E, F. Likewise, the rows are named as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Likewise. So therefore, when you are going to read a particular cell, that particular name comes as a combination of column and the row. So if you take this, you can see the column is C, the row is 3. So therefore, this cell is known as C3. Similarly, if you go to this column is known as E, and this row is known as 6. So it is E6. So therefore, this is the standard way of naming or the names of the cells. So it's a matter of the respective column and the row. So as a combination of column and row, it gives you this particular. So it is D3, D8, no? So likewise, for whatever the cell that you go, so you can, so it's unlimited. So it's not just the area that this is seen over here. Even if you want to stretch this beyond, you can simply click on this, and you can see it's a kind of a unlimited number of cells. Unlimited number of cells are there, as well as unlimited number of columns and rows. Unlimited number of columns. So it's not just up to the 26 word, but it is even beyond that. 26 letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Likewise, up to Z, but thereafter you can see that A, B, likewise this continues. It's not going to be stopped, right? You can see. So it's having whole lot of records are there, right? So these records, if you consider, so it's going to be like quite unlimited, right? You can explore this, but most of the time when you work a particular area where you can take like up to 100 records and up to 10 to 15 columns may be good enough, right? But so depending on your requirement, so this is having a kind of unlimited capacity in a particular worksheet. So මේ worksheet එක ලොකු capacity එකක් තියෙනවා පුතා, right? ඒකට අපි දැන් දන්නවා work book එකක් කොහොමද open කරන්නේ? worksheet එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? worksheet එකට නමක් දෙන්නේ කොහොමද? ඒ වගේම cell එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා. So cell එකක් කියන්නේ it's a combination of cell. Each cell is having a particular name. That name is a combination of the respective column and the respective row. It's D3, D5, D7 likewise, right? Even later we are learning that if you wish you can give your own name for these cells as well, but we'll be learning them later, right? At the moment just know each cell is having a particular name and that name is appearing in the name box, right? Okay, then if I come to a particular important area, it is about these different tabs. We call them tabs. You can see the file tab is there. Hope you can remember that when we are saving this, initially you have go to this file tab, then you take this save as option, and then you have save the document, right? Then typically when you open up a particular workbook, a particular worksheet, you are in this home tab. So different functions are available in this home tab. සාමාන්‍ය පුතාලා workbook එකක් open කරපු ගමන් ඔයාලා ඉන්නේ මේ home කියන tab එකේ. එතකොට මේ home එකේ ඔයාලට වැඩ කරන්න පුළුවන්. But apart from that, there are many more tabs. You can see that insert tab is there. So there are certain functions are available. The page layout, the formulas, date, review, likewise, different options are there. Different options are there, right? So that is how this the appearance or the typical appearance of this Excel worksheet, right? So now we have learned how to open up this and how to give a name for this each of the sheets, and also I exposed you to the cell concept. So what do you mean by this cell? And it's a kind of a, each cell is having a name, and that is known by the particular column and the respective row. And I told you that basically this is used for the kind of a calculative functions. To perform the calculative functions you are using that, right? Then let's just type a small database, right? පොඩි තොරතුරු කිහිපයක් මේක type කරලා බලමු, right? Let's say that so here you need to for a particular test 5 students were set and they got a particular mark, right? Let's say it's a placement test, right? So let's take the name of this student and let's take the marks that they have obtained for a particular test. And let's say there are a person called Anuradha, Vasanta, Gimhani, Tanuja, Chaturanga. So these are the names of, let's take the full name, right? Chaturanga Herath, let's take, right? So you should, that's how we take, no, Chaturanga Herath, right? So then if you want to write on this, so if you want to continue this further, so what you can do, you can see that this particular value is appearing over here, right? This is called the formula bar. in the formula bar, you can see the name is happening. If you want to type it, you can go and click over there and take the space and type it. Chaturang Anuradha Bandara Vasantha Dasanayaka. Nimhani Pereira Tanuja Attanayaka. Right? So these are the names. Now you can see that here. So once you type that, so the typical cell space is not adequate. Even it seems that you don't have enough space to type on this mark. So ඔයාලා mark එක දාන්න දැන් ඉඩක් නැහැ නේද පුතාලා. So දැන් නම ටිකක් දිගයි. එතකොට typically you can see that each cell is having a same width, same size. Each cell is having a same size. So in an instance, so this is a very practical consideration when you are going to work. So you would find that in some instances, this typical cell space is not good enough, right? So then what you can do? So how do you take the enough space? එතමන්ට අවශ්‍ය කරන ඒ ඉඩකඩ කොහොමද ලබා ගන්න? So what you can do is you need to do a very simple thing. You need to go to the top of the relevant cell, right? So relevant uh, column, right? You need to go to the top of the relevant column. Then if you come to the end of that particular column, you can see that your mouse pointer is taking a different shape, right? When you are here, you can see it's like plus mark, and once you go up there, it is getting a kind of a down-headed arrow. And if you go to the end of or the boundary, if you go to the boundary of this particular column, you can see that it turn out to be a kind of double-headed arrow. So once it becomes double-headed arrow, what you can do, you can simply double click. You can double click the left side of your mouse. You can double click it. See what happens? It gets the required space. අන්න අර අවශ්‍ය space එක ගත්තා නේ බොහොම පහසුවෙන්. Just to show you again, if I drag it, you can even drag this, right? So this is how it was originally. It was like, then how you do, you go to this and come to the boundary. So it's the right boundary, and then you left click and it's a double click. Then you can see that enough space was taken. That's it. And let's say that each of these students has obtained marks like 60, 40, 85, 69, and 35, and 27. So that's good enough, no? These are the marks that they have obtained, right? You can see that. Okay, it's a simple database. A simple database. So once you add something like this, so there may be lots of formatting that you can do for this to add some beauty to the database or the table that you have created, right? The data set that you have entered, you can add some beauty. So one of the main things usually what we do here is that we need to put this data into a table. So you would like to put a table to that. උදාල් කැමති මේක ටිකක් ලස්සන කරගන්න මේ අපි ටයිප් කරලා ගත්ත ටික. එතකොට අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කරනවා ටේබල් එකක් ඉන්සර්ට් කරගන්න. ඒත් කොහොමද අපි ටේබල් එකක් ඉන්සර්ට් කරන්නේ? අපිට පුළුවන් මේ සමස්ත ඒරියා එකම සිලෙක්ට් කරන්න. You can go to this and you can left click and you can press the left side of your mouse and you can simply drag your mouse pointer and then you can select the whole area. Just to show that again, go to the starting point, then left click and press it, then slowly move your mouse pointer. So until it select the required area. ඒ අදාළ area එක select වෙනකම් පුතාලා හිමීට මේ mouse point එක අරගෙන යන්න. So once it is selected, what you can do, you can see that here in this home tab, there's an area called font area. In this font area, you can see there's a box is appearing, right? It's a kind of a border. So this is what we call the border. Now you are going to add a border to this table. So how you can add? You can click on that and you can add a different kinds of borders are there, but here you are taking the option all border. See now what has happened. So you have put that into a nice table. You have put that into a nice table, right? So that's how you should do it. Let's say that now you want to change the font. You are not comfortable with this font. අපි මේ font එක අපිට ඒක does not look good. So if you want to change that font, yes, that is something you can do. Let's say that you want to increase the size of the font. So you got two options, right? So here you can see the increase font size, or otherwise even by clicking on this font size you can increase the font size. So whatever option that you are convenient, you can use it. You can increase the font size. Let's say that you want to keep it to 14. That's it. And also you are not comfortable with the font. If you want to change the font, you can do that. So there are different fonts are there, but out of that, a font that it looks good to you, you can select it. For me, I usually prefer the Times New Roman. So therefore, let me take Times New Roman. So once you click that, you can see it appears. And again, so the problem is that you can see that again, once you increase the size of the font, it is not good enough. The space is not good enough. So you know how to do that, how to deal with that. Go to this, and once it becomes double-headed arrow, double click. Okay. Now you have nicely formatted that. So therefore, in this font area, basically what you can do some formatting. Right now, let's say that you want to add some you want to fill this particular cells, with a particular color, right? Just to beautify your table. So that is even possible. So you can, having selected the first two rows, you can go to this color and add some color that looks good to you. So here you have added a particular color to that. And also, if you feel that the font color is not good, so you want to change the font color. So typically it is black. So if you want to change that, that is even possible. You can see that if you want to change that, so whatever the color that you want, yes, that is possible. So you can take it. So say that you want to have a color like this or like this. Yes, you can do that. See, now you have added a kind of a nice table, right? So that is more or less the formattings. Even if you want to change the font type, right? So say that you want to make it italicize. If you want to italicize your text, you can see that that option is there. See what happens to your names. It was italicized, right? If you want to remove that, again click on that. If you want to add it, then you can do that. And let's say that you want to bold this, right? The bold this, that is also possible. See, you have italicized and you have bold the text. The headings were italicized and bold, right? So these are basic options that is most frequently useful for us. So therefore it is pretty much important for you to know how to handle this. මේ වගේ දෙයක් handle කරන්න කොහොමද කියලා පුතාලා දැනගන්න ඕන. So different options are there. You can conveniently select this, right? And if you feel that if you want to change this alignment, the alignment of these marks and the names, even that is possible. Let's say that you want to take these marks to the middle. You can see that now it is right aligned. Now it is towards the right side. Let's say that you want to take it to the middle. So how you can do? You have to select the particular area. Then you can see the alignment. In this alignment, you can see the middle option is here. So if you take that, it comes to the middle. If you want to take it to the other side, the left align, you can take that. If you want to take it right align, you can do that. So if you want to take it to the middle, you can do that. So it's about how to do the alignment. So now it looks good. Even you want to do this to the headings, you can do that. So usually it is beautiful uh, if you keep this names left align, that is quite beautiful. So therefore I'm not going to change it. Even if you wish, you can change that. If you want to take it to the middle, yes, you can do that. Left, it's possible, but what looks good, this is it. Even when if you want to increase the size, you can simply left click and press it, and you can simply drag here and there, right? That is even possible. But if you want to take the right size, you can simply take it like this, then simply double click it, then it takes only the required space, nothing more than that, nothing more than that. So this is basically what we call the formattings, the basic formattings what we have for form, right? And apart from that, I would like to show one more important thing. It's about if you, let's say that you want to copy this table to another place, අපිට මේ table එක අපිට copy කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා තව තැනකට. So what you can do, you can select the particular table, then you can see there's an option called you can take option, you can simply right click on that, right click on the table. So with that you can see there's a kind of a dialog box. The box is appearing, drop down menu is there. So out of that you can select this copy option. You want to copy that, so you copy it. Then you may come to the destination. Let's say that you want to paste it somewhere over here. Then you can come to that place, again right click the mouse, and then you can simply paste it. The paste option is there. Different options are there, but out of that, at the moment, let's take the first option, the basic paste. Right? Again, if you want to increase the size, yes, this is it. So once you copy that, if you do paste several times, that is even possible. So එකපාරක් පුතාලා copy කරගත්තට පස්සේ අපිට අවශ්‍ය තරම් මේක paste කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර මේක තමයි අපි copy paste කියන්නේ. මේක ගොඩක් වැදගත් වෙනවා අපිට copy paste option එක. Right? So now you can see that this particular area is it's blinking. So you may select the area again and press enter, then it stops. Okay, so this is how we do the copy paste. The copy paste, that's how we do. Now let's look at some of the kind of calculations we may do based on this. So because I told you that this is not just a word processing software, but it's more about the calculation. Let's say that there's a question. It asks you to identify, or it asks you identify the maximum marks. Maximum marks identify කරන්න කියලා. එතකොට එහෙම කිව්වොත් කොහොමද පුතාලා මේකේ maximum marks identify කරන්නේ? So it asks you to identify the maximum marks. එතකොට අපිට පේනවා මේක බැලුමට maximum marks තියෙන ගිම්හානිකි. So if you can get this 85, that's it. But you are not going to simply copy and paste it, but you are going to do that using the functions. එතකොට අපි මේක නිකම්ම copy කරලා ගෙනල්ලා ඒක paste කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක අපි functions භාවිතා කරලා තමයි කරන්නේ. දැන් මෙතන නම් පුතාලට බැලුමට පේනවා. ඒත් අපි හිතමු records 1000ක් විතර තියෙන තැන. එතකොට අපිට පුළුවන් ප්‍රායෝගිකව එක රෙකෝඩ් එක බලලා මේක ගන්න. ඒක කරන්න බෑ. එතකොට හොඳම දේ තමයි යම්කිසි function එකක් apply කරන එක. එතකොට මොකක්ද අපිට ඒකට කරන්න පුළුවන් function එක apply කරන්න පුළුවන් function එක. එතකොට පුතාලා තියෙනවා මේ Excel වල maximum value එකක් calculate කරන්න function එකක් මොකක්ද? max function කියලා. එතකොට අපි ඒක කොහොමද ගන්නෙ? අපිට පුළුවන් equal press කරන්නේ යම් කිසි cell එකකට ගිහිල්ලා අපි මෙතෙන්ට answer එක ගන්න ඕනේ කියලා. එහෙනම් equal press කරලා අපි type කරමු බලන්න නිකන් max කියලා. M A කියලා max M type කරපුවම පුතාලට පේනවා different available options එනවානේ. match function තියෙනවා, max ifs තියෙනවා, mid තියෙනවා, min තියෙනවා, ඒ වගේ විවිධ ඒවා. ඒ වගේ අපිට ඕනේ මොකක්ද? max function එක. එතකොට අපිට පුළුවන් එක double click කරන්න max function එක. ඊට පස්සේ අපි මොකක්ද කරන්නේ? මේ අදාළ area එක you are going to select the particular area that you would test. And once you select that, you can close the bracket. You have to close the brackets. Then you can press enter. See, the maximum marks has comes over there. On the maximum mark එක අපිට ආවා. අපි තමයි අපිට මේ මුළු sheet එකම Times New Roman විදියට convert කරගන්න ඕන කියලා. ඒකට කොහොමද අපි කරන්නේ? You can go to this area, the beginning, right? The beginning of this area. You can see that you may come to this area and you may click on that, and then you can see the entire area is selected. And if you want to have one similar font, let's say Times New Roman, you can click that. Now it is applied. Okay, now it's applied for all the fonts, right? Okay, it's 85. So that is the maximum mark you get. That's application of a particular function. එතකොට ඒ function එකක් apply කරලා අපි ඔන්න value එකක් derive කරන විදිය සරලව බලුවා. පොඩි උදාහරණයක්, right? එතකොට මේ දේ පුතා අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් මීට වඩා පහසු ක්‍රමයකුත් තියෙනවා. ඒක තමයි, so I told you that this is the formula bar. So near this formula bar you can see that there is a kind of option and we call it insert function option. ඒතර පුතාලට වෙනවා මේ formula bar එක ළඟ තියෙනවා පොඩි fx කියලා function එකක්. ඒතර පුතාලා calculators වලත් දැකලා ඇති. ඒකෙන් තමයි අපි පුතාලා functions ගන්න. ඒතර මෙතන ඒ විදිහට that insert function option is there. So if you want to take that option, you can click on that. See, different kinds of functions are available, right? The sum function, max function, sim function, likewise, right? So if you want to find something, what you can do is you can simply type it. If you want to find the max function, so once you click that, see, it comes over there, right? You need to know these functions, right? But here the thing is that you may have to know the exact function. But if you take the early option, even if you type M, the relevant available functions are appearing. So therefore for me, it looks the typing things in the cells is the easiest way to get the function. But here, this is also possible. මේ function එකක් insert කරගන්න අපිට ක්‍රම දෙකක් තියෙනවා. එකක් type කරන එක, අනිත් එක මේ විදිහට function එක ගන්න එක. කොහොම නමුත් අපි මෙතෙන්ට ගිහිල්ලා max අපිට පුළුවන් okay කියන්න. Right. Then it asks us to enter the numbers. The numbers එකින් එක enter කරගෙන යන්නත් පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ numbers ටික ඔක්කොම එකපාරකට enter කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. You can enter all the numbers. ඔක්කොම numbers ටික එකට එකතු කරගෙන enter කරගෙන යන්නත් පුළුවන්. නැත්නම් එකින් එක කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. නමුත් එකින් එක කරන එක ප්‍රායෝගික නැහැනේ. So අපි ඔක්කොම select කරලා අපි කියනවා okay කියලා. Same result. Same result. But the thing is that you need to know the function. නමුත් ඊට වඩා මම දැක්කා මෙතන අපි කලින් කොහොමද equal type කරලා m කියලා type කරගුවාම අදාළ function එනවා. එන්න එතනින් අපිට max කියන එක හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක select කරලා අපිට ඕනනම් එතනින් fx click කරන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොටත් අර කලින් window එකටම යනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් equal type කරලා max ආවට පස්සේ වරහනක් open වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට පුළුවන් area එක select කරලා දෙන්න. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට පුළුවන් මේක close කරන්න. That's it, right? Whatever the way that is convenient to you, you can do that. So you'll be exposed to several functions, but here I'm just mentioning few of the functions, right? So, and similarly, let's say that you want to identify the minimum marks, identify minimum mark. අඩුම mark එක අපි කිම් හොයාගන්න කියලා. එතකොට කොහොමද කරන්නේ? maximum එක max නම් minimum එක min වගේ function එකක් ඇතිනේ. අපි type කරලා බලමු equal min m. You again type. So once you type that, you can see somewhere below there is called min. This is the minimum function. Minimum function. So again, what you have to do, once you click on that, you can select it. Sorry. Once you select and once you close the brackets, right? Most importantly, you need to close the brackets manually and say yes. So it comes the minimum value. On අපි minimum value එක හොයාගන්න. ඒ වගේම තමයි alternatively you can go to this fx and you can type the min and say go. Then the minimum function comes, say okay. So select the whole thing. So you select the whole thing, say okay. You get that. That is the minimum mark. Whatever the method convenient, you may stick to a particular method. උදාට මේ ක්‍රම දෙකෙන් පහසු ක්‍රමයකට මේක හොයාගන්න නිදහස තියෙනවා. දැන් අපි කියමු තව සරල එකක් අපිට නිරන්තරයෙන් හම්බෙන දෙයක් average එකක් ගන්න කියලා. Average mark. Let's say that to take the average mark. Average mark එකක් ගන්න කියලා. කොහොමද අපි කරන්නේ? You can take equal average. Just type average. So once you type average, you can see that different functions are coming out of that. You take the correct one, it is average. So then you have to select again all the marks. So once you select all the marks and close the bracket, enter it. See, this is the average mark. That's going to be the average mark. Even if you look for a kind of a shortcut, what you can do, you can take the fx, the insert function option, and just go there and type average and say go. Then the function comes average, say okay. The same thing. You can select the area here. So the same outcome. So these are some of the commonly used functions, right? The max function, the mean function, the average function. So therefore I think it would be something that would add value to you. And let's say that you want to take the total of this mark. අපි total mark එක ගන්න ඕනේ වුණා කියලා. So take කරන්න කොහොමද? So how you are to take the total mark? So it is called the total marks. So ඒකට අපිට function එකක් තියෙනවද total කියලා? නැහැ. ඒකට තියෙනවා අපිට function එකක් මොකක්ද? sum කියලා. So total එකක් ගන්න අපි sum function එකකින්. මතක තියාගන්න. දාලා equal sum. If you type su, so the sum function comes. So double click on that and go to the area and select it. Select the area and close the bracket and enter. Here it comes the total. Or otherwise, as we discussed earlier, you can go to the fx, type sum function, sum comes over there, say okay. Now select the area. By typically the area is there, but here take that sum, okay. So the same output, right? This is how you insert the function, right? So in time to come you will be exposed to several kinds of functions, right? So none of these things are going to be difficult, so those are very easy. So once you expose to that, it's not going to be a difficult task. පුතාලා මේ දේවල් කරන්න පටන් ගත්තට පස්සේ මේවා අමාරු වැඩ නෙමෙයි, right? ඒතර මේ functions නිකම්ම අපේ ඇඟට එනවා. ඒකට maximum එකක් හොයන්න අපි දන්නවා max function, minimum එකට mean function, average එකට average function, sum total එකට sum function. Likewise it typically comes to you. ඒකට එහෙම වෙලාවක අපි දන්නේ නැති දෙයක් ආවොත් ඕනනම් අපිට ගිහිල්ලා help option එක අරගෙන උදාහරණයක් මේකේ help option එකක් තියෙනවා. මේ help option එකට ගිහිල්ලා අපිට ඒ දේවල් type කරලා ගන්නත් පුළුවන්. right? මොන හරි දෙයක් අපි දන්නේ නැත්නම් අපි කියමු මොන හරි option එකක් අපි ගමු what is the formula for total? දන්නේ නැහැ කියලා හිතමු. What is the formula for total? හිතමු total එක මොකක්ද කියලා අපි දන්නේ. ඔන්න අපි type කරමු. It says that it cannot find. No? Okay. So it's help. Let's go to the help. හරි අපි help option එක ගමු. right දැන් අපි type කරමු මෙතන what is the function for total. අපි දන්නේ නැහැ කියලා තුමේ function එක ඔන්න අපි එතකොට type කරා. අපි අහනවා මොකක්ද ඒක කියලා. to take total. So it doesn't help us, no? It seems that it doesn't help us, right? So if it does not help us, so the only thing is that you can do is you can go to the internet. You can go to the internet and you can simply type what is the function to take what's the function to take total in Excel. Excel එකේ ගහුවනම් ඔන්න ටක් ගාලා answer කියනවා. එතන කියනවා Excel sum function. උදාහරණ කියනවා එක ගන්න මොකක්ද? ඔන්න උදාහරණත් එක්ක පෙන්නලා තියෙනවා. You take it using the sum function. Right? Sum function. So likewise, whatever the thing that you do not know, if you just go to the email, Google, and if you Google it, so it comes over there. So therefore, you don't have to remember anything. So you can easily get that, right? So the Google does that. Don't remember the functions by heart, right? So if you can remember them easily, it's okay. But if you are not good enough, yeah, not confident, yeah, better just Google it and you get the required function. Okay. So likewise, this is some of the basic application of this fx function, right? That would be something quite useful. You need to know what's a cell and how to type the things and how to perform the function. So I have just exposed you to some of the functions that it is there. So apart from that, if I just to show another important area, that is what we call in the home tab, this number area. So in this number area, you can do certain formattings. So මෙතන පුතාලට පුළුවන් formattings ගණනාවක් කරන්න. උදාහරණයක් විදිහට, if you want to add, if you are dealing with the currencies, if you want to add the currency, you can do that, right? So since we are having a simple database, let me open up a kind of a very comprehensive data set what I have, and something like this, right? If you take a data set like this, say that you want to convert a particular value. So you can see this sales, cost of sales and profit. These are what we call the rupee values, no? So if you want to get the rupee value for that, if you want to appear the rupee value in front of that, how you can do it? So if you want to appear the dollar in front of that, you can simply click the dollar. So the dollar appears. But in our country, that is not the case. It is Sri Lanka rupees. Then how you take that Sri Lankan rupees? You can click the drop down button. Then you can see that if you go down, you can see the more accounting formats are there. So it's not euros, it's not Chinese, it's not Switzerland currencies, right? So therefore what you need to do, you need to look for more accounting formats. So if you click on that, so there is a particular kind of a dialog box. In that you can see the currencies there. So if you select the currency and if you go to this symbol, and if you want to take Sri Lankan rupees, we call it LKR, you can simply type LKR. Sorry, just type L, then you can see that the areas where the L is there, you are taken. Then you can see here, you can see the LKR is there. So click on that and say OK. See, now the LKR being added. So that is our local currency. That's how you format the currencies. Just to show you again, if you want to make it dollars, just click on that. But Since it is Sri Lankan rupees, you need to go down and more counting formats, currency, select LKR, type LKR and say OK. So you get it. That's it. That's the currency you have. Then here you got the option if you want to convert something into a kind of a, say, what you call that percentage. If you want to convert something to a percentage, you can take that option. So let me type something over here. Let's say that there are some values called 0 0.15, 0 0.20, 0. Sorry, 20, 0 0.95, 0 0.6. Likewise, if you have something like this, if you want to convert this into kind of a percentage, what you can do, you can select them and you can click on this percentage. See, easily the percentage being added. So it's another important conversion, right, that you can do. Then you can see another option right here. This is what we call the separator, thousand separator. So usually would you like to read something that we have typed like this? Let's say it's 1 million, right? You have typed, the values are given like that, right? So think about several values that it was given. Likewise, you are given several values. Now can you find, would it be easy for you to read compared to the ones over here? So what is the more convenient to read? Is it the values? Is it the numbers with the separator, or is it without the separator? So we find it quite difficult to read the numbers if the separators are not there. So what you can do, so if you want to do a kind of formatting as such, you can select them and you can apply the separators. So if you apply that with that, you can see that even the decimal places come. So if you do not wish to keep these decimal places, you can simply remove it. But if you wish to add them, you can even add them. Right? You can see that this is where you can add, increase the decimal, and this is where you can decrease the decimal. Decimals adu කරන්නත් පුළුවන්, decimal වැඩි කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. So again, that is something you do most frequently. It's about the formattings, the currency formattings, the percentages, separators, and decimals, and many more options are there, right? So you can select when and where the need comes, and this is where you do the number formatting. Then you can see another important thing in this home one. It's called the conditional formatting. Again, we are going to learn them uh, in your future courses. So in your future lectures, you will be definitely learning that. But at this moment, just to give you a kind of idea, let's say that here it helps you to do a kind of a formatting, but based on a particular condition that you specify. Let's say that in a particular uh, data set, let's say that you want to take, so let me go back to my original one. Let's say that out of this particular data set, let's say you want to highlight uh, the highest two values. Let's say that you want to highlight the highest two values. So පුතාලට ඕනේ මේ values වලින් ඉහළම values දෙකක් type කරන්න. මේ what do you call that, highlight කරගන්න. එතකොට ඒක කොහොමද කරන්නේ? එතකොට මේ වගේ පොඩි database එකක නම් අපිට බොහොම පහසුවෙන් ගිහිල්ලා highlight කරගන්න පුළුවන් highest two values හොයලා. නමුත් if you imagine a data set with thousands of records, that's not going to be easy. So therefore what you can do, you can simply select the data set and go to the conditional formatting. Then you can see the several options are there. Out of these many options, you can get the highlight cell rule. Highlight cell rule. So there you can see the greater than, less than, between, equal options are there. And here in fact, since you are looking for the greatest values, you can, the most appropriate one is going to be the top bottom row. not the highlight cell rule. The highlight cell rule is also applicable in some instances, but here the most suitable one is the top bottom rule. So there you can see typically it comes top 10. Okay, click on that. So here you are not required to get the top 10, but what you need to get the top 2 values. So say top 2, then say OK. See, it has formatted. So it has easily picked the highest 2 values. Similarly, let's say that you want to get the 2 lowest values. That is also possible. You can go to this conditional formatting, top bottom, and bottom 10 items, not the top, this time bottom 10 items, and it is 2 bottom items. So since you have used a kind of a the somewhat red color, so the maroon color for the highest values, now we may be using a different color, otherwise it looks similar. So let me use green fill, right? So likewise here you can decide whatever the color that you want. So let me get the green fill for the bottom. See, so these are the bottom 2 values, these are the top 2 values. Even for a large scale database, you can meaningfully add that. So let's say that you want to highlight the trend greatest profits. අපි හිතමු ඉහළම profit figures 10 highlight කරන්න අවශ්‍ය වුණා කියලා. You can select the entire area, go to the conditional formattings, top, bottom, top 10. Okay, ask to highlight. So there I could have highlighted the top 10. So if you go up, yeah, so you can see one value is over here. There can be more than that. Yeah, another value over there. Yeah, another value. Likewise, they would have highlighted the top 10. So similarly, if you want to take the bottom, you can take not 10%, sorry, it's bottom 10 items, but different color we may use, let's say yellow. So they would have now highlighted the bottom values, the 10 greatest bottom values with a different color. Yeah, you can see that here it comes the bottom values. So they would have highlighted 10 values likewise. So it is somewhat what we call the formattings. So the formattings is something even possible, right? So these are some of the common things that you need to know when you are before you are start working on this software. So once you know these basic things, it would be quite easy for you to learn the different options, right? Okay. Now let's say that you want to do another thing, another most frequent application I'm going to show you. It's about how to sort the data. Let's say that you want to sort this table according to the ascending order of the names. අපි හිතමු දැන් මේ නම් විවිධ පිළිවෙලටනේ තියෙන්නේ. අනුරාධ ඉන්නවා, වසන්ත ඉන්නවා, ගිම්හානි. එතකොට ඒකේ පිළිවෙල අඩුයි. අපි හිතමු මේ ටේබල් එක අපිට sort කරගන්න ඕනේ ascending order එකට. names වල ascending order එකට. එතකොට ඒකට අපි කියනවා sort කරගන්නවා කියලා. So how can you do this? How can you sort this? Again, you need to select the entire table, and you can see that here there is option called sort and filter, and go to that and take the custom sort. Custom sort key option again. Just to show that again, we are in the home tab, go to the sort and filter and take the option custom sort. Having taken that, you need to say sort by what? What is the criterion? Is it the name or the marks? අපි කියව mark name එකට අනුව තමයි ගන්න කියලා. Then take the name, then take no need to do that from A to Z. If you want to the other way around, Z to A, but here ascending order A to Z, and say OK. See, now it has formatted nicely. Now it is there in the ascending order of the name. A comes first, C, G, T, W, likewise. Now it's in a beautiful order, right? Now it's in a nice order. Let's say that you want to do the sorting based on the marks, ascending order from lowest mark to highest mark. What you can do? You can go to this sort and filter, custom sort by marks, smallest to largest. Say OK. See, now you have done that formatting based on a different criteria. This time it was the uh, ascending order of the marks. This time it is ascending order of the name. So likewise you can apply it. Take a කරන්න පුළුවන්, right? Okay. So that's how we do. So these are some of the things what you may commonly do, right? So these options are quite frequently used. So once you're familiar with that, we can explore these aspects in the later studies. In the later studies, you will be exposed to these different aspects. පුතාලගේ පසු අවස්ථාවලදී lectures වලදී මේ අනිකුත් areas වලටත් පුතාලා expose වෙනවා. නමුත් දැන් මෙතන basically මට understanding එකක් දෙන්න අවශ්‍ය උනේ software එක කොහොමද open කරන්නේ, Excel කොහොමද open කරන්නේ, එතකොට කොහොමද ඒකට නමක් දෙන්නේ workbook එකට, ඒ වගේම worksheets වලට කොහොමද පුතාලා නම් දෙන්නේ, cell එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද, යම්කිසි data ටිකක් insert කරන්නේ කොහොමද, ඒක format කරන්නේ කොහොමද, ඒ වගේ දේවල් ටිකක් තමයි අපි කතා කරන්නේ. ඒත් එක්කම අපි කතා කරා කොහොමද function එකක් use කරන්නේ, එතකොට number formattings කොහොමද, conditional formattings, sorting, මේ වගේ different options අපි explore කරනවා. එතකොට පුතාලට පුළුවන් මේවා frequently මේ තියෙන සෑම option එකක්ම try කරලා බලන්න. Right? Now I have exposed you to this. Now it's something up to you to navigate through this and look for the different application. So and make yourself familiar with this different kinds of application. එතකොට මේ විවිධ application තියෙනවා. Right? මේ හැම එකකම applications වල වැදගත් application. දැන් අපි බලමු මේක උදාහරණයක් විදිහට මේ option එක අපි explore කරේ නෑ. මේක කරොත් මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ කියලා. මම මෙතන cell එක තියලා මම මෙතන තියලා cell එක select කරලා මම ගිහලා එතන බලමු මේ click කරලා මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ. ඒක auto sum එක එනවා. ඒතකොට ඒකෙන් වෙන්නේ අපිට යම් කිසි data set එක value එක ගන්න ඕන නම් මේක click කරා නම් auto sum click කරා නම් බොහොම පහසුවෙන් අන්න sum එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. right? එතකොට මේ හැම එකකම මේ වගේ different applications තියෙනවා. Right? It's something up to you to explore these different dimensions. මේ දේවල් try out කරලා බලන්න. So you can see the delete option is there and see what delete is for. You can delete cells, you can delete sheet, you can delete rows, right? එතකොට යම් කිසි cell එකක් අපි delete කරන්න ඕන නම් අපිට පුළුවන් delete cell. එතකොට cell එක delete කරනවා. right? හැබැයි එතකොට අනිත් cells ටික උඩට එනවා. එතකොට ඒක වළක්වන්නත් විවිධ ක්‍රම තියෙනවා. So if you want to undo something, once you do that, that option is also there. එතකොට අපි තිබ්බ cell එක delete වුණා. හැබැයි අනිත් ටික උඩට ආවා. ඒ ටික නවත්තන්න. ඒක අපිට ඕනේ නැත්තම් reverse කරන්න ඕන නම් අපි කරපු දෙයක්, you can see the undo option is here. Right. You can undo that. And also most of the time, you know, when you are working in a computer which is not having a kind of a UPS. ඒතර පුතාලා UPS එකක් නැති කම්පියුටර් එක වැඩ කරනවා නම් අපි දන්නවා power එක ගියපු ගමන් මේ සිස්ටම් එක off වෙනවා. ඒතකොට සිස්ටම් එක off වුණොත් අපි මේ කර හිටපු වැඩ අපිට එකක්වත් recover කරගන්න බැරි වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා පුතාලාගේ habit එකක් develop කරන්න time to time සාමාන්‍ය කාලයක් විනාඩි 10ක්, විනාඩි 5ක්, විනාඩි 10ක්, විනාඩි 15ක් වැඩ කරාම සෑම වෙලාවකම මේ කරන දේවල් save කරන්න කොහොමද ඒක කරන්නේ? You can see that here the option is there, the save button. So you need to frequently click on that. පුතාලට පුළුවන් එක සැරින් සැරේට click කරන්න. එතකොට ඒ දක්වා කරපු වැඩ save වෙලා තියෙනවා. So if you are working in a laptop, if your battery power is okay, you don't have to worry, you don't have that risk. But if you are working in a computer which is not having a UPS, so it is better to save your work time to time. Time to time ඔයාගේ වැඩ ටික save කරන්න. So develop that particular habit. So otherwise you may have to suffer. In case of the examination, most of the time we have seen the students have been working for like 1 hour's time, 30 minutes time, but they do not save. So if the suddenly power goes off, then everything goes, right? So therefore have that particular habit. So even you can download different kinds of databases from the internet and have the large scale databases and do different kinds of formatting. පුතාලට පුළුවන් ඉන්ටර්නෙට් එකට ගියොත් විවිධ විශාල ප්‍රමාණයේ databases තියෙනවා. පුතාලා ඒවා download කරන්න. download කරලා විවිධ formattings කරලා බලන්න. So දැන් මෙතන මම large scale database එකක් අරගෙන if I want to do a kind of some sort of a sorting, so it is possible. Let's say that I want to take this in the ascending order of the segment එක ascending order එකට ගන්න පුළුවන්. මට පුළුවන් sort and filter ගිහිල්ලා custom sort ගිහිල්ලා segment කියලා ගන්න. From A to Z. ඔන්න මම මේක දැන් format කරනවා. දැන් ඒක ලස්සනට format වෙලා තියෙනවා. See? So likewise you can apply this knowledge wherever possible. There can be different instances where you can apply it, so you may try that. Okay, so the whole purpose of this particular small discussion was to give you a kind of understanding about how to open up the software and how to use the different sheets භාවිතා කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක, and how to give a name for that, and what do you mean by a cell, and how you type the things, and how you perform the functions, different functions, and also how you do different kinds of number formattings, how you do different kinds of conditional formattings, and also how you do different kinds of sort and filter. So I have just given you a kind of a basic overview to that. Without now basic overview එකක් තමයි දුන්නේ. So hope this would help so in your future studies, right? Okay then, so in this video that's all what I want to discuss. So thank you very much. So see you later in upcoming video. Thank you.